How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Mike from Seattle, but currently in Gary, Indiana, pulling out of Denny's with my boy All Nighter Heider. Heider, what's going on, man?
The financial logistician, bringing you back here, checking out Gary, Indiana.
I was thinking, well, we were having a conversation over breakfast about integrity. And one of the reasons why Heider is out here is because even though he lives in California, he is not a Gary native, it is so hard to find good contractors, to find people with integrity to do work on your stuff, that it was actually cheaper for me to fly him out here, pay him and his son for a week of their labor, and then fly them home. That because it's that hard to find good help and that hard to find people who have integrity and are going to do what they say and actually execute, follow through. So anyways, that was why we came out last week. Heider, tell them why we're here this week to do some work.
We are here again to work on the triplex and then also our fiveplex because it is so hard to find good work. So we came out here to get it done on our own, get it done in a timely manner and in budget.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I've got 27 rental units in the Indiana area, and the majority of those I own by myself, but there is one fiveplex that I own with a group of partners. Heider is one of those partners. Now, we've owned this place since we closed on it like March of 2024. And for the record, it's now October of 2025. So we've owned it for a year and a half. In that year and a half, we built a fifth unit. Took a few months. It was a fourplex in the basement. We put a fifth unit in there, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, gorgeous unit. We remodeled 3 more units. We touched them up, finished them up, remodeled them. And we also inherited one tenant. So we had one tenant that's still in her one spot. We inherited that tenant. The third unit the extra unit that we added in the basement, we got that rented out. But we've had 3 vacant units for going on about a year. We handed this place over to the first property manager in September of last year. She got 2 units rented out for us. And then unfortunately, one of those went vacant when the person lost their Section 8 voucher. The other tenant she placed was that basement unit. They're still there. But we have 3 remaining units that we have yet to get rented out. It's very frustrating. But that's our history with this fiveplex. Now, the reason we're here, go ahead, tell them why you're here working on the fiveplex. Because we had somebody else who was supposed to do the job.
Yeah, and they didn't do it. They got paid for it. They actually replaced our windows for the exterior of the house. These are not interior windows. Replaced the windows for the exterior of the property, but failed to caulk them to the property, therefore sealing water out and air out. It's just absolutely amazing. So installing windows is only the first half, apparently. They've got to come back and do the caulking, which they're not going to, so we're here to do the caulking for them.
Yeah, so they were supposed to do the windows. We show up. One of the windows is just missing glass. Now, it's on a porch, an exterior porch, so the elements aren't getting into the house, but there's just a window missing the glass out of it. Other work that they were supposed to do, things like cleaning, getting the property ready to show, just nothing's been done to the standard that we would have expected. And they charged us a lot. Like, we paid a lot for them to come out and do this work. Honestly, in hindsight, like, we should have just paid you straight up out the gate. We should have just said, why don't we just pay Heider to go do this? Because it'll be a lot cheaper and it'll get done right. So what made me think of this topic was integrity. I've had a lot of bad experience with contractors. I've had contractors steal from me, contractors not follow through, contractors, they take your money, say they're going to do work, then they don't do it. They do it improperly. Heider himself is a retired contractor. Heider was a general contractor who do a lot of work. It's actually one of the first kind of ways that we started becoming friends, was listening to him make recommendations in the comment section of YouTube videos about what he would have done to make a repair. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about integrity. How do you find high integrity contractors, Heider? What are the red flags you're looking for that if they say something, you immediately know these guys are shady? Here's an example. They aren't willing to take, they want all the money up front. Right? There's a good one. Like, what other examples like that?
Yeah, so for example, for me, what I do is when I contract a job, I actually don't ask for anything. Generally, they're smaller jobs, but I don't ask for anything up front. I will do the work, take all the risk, and then just get paid later on. I will even buy the materials, and I buy them at cost. I don't mark anything up. That's the mark of a good contractor. All I want to do is provide value. I want to get the job done in a timely manner and on budget.
Yeah.
When people are asking for money up front, if it's a larger job, yeah, if they don't have, say, $10,000 to foot the materials, that's, I understand that. But if it's going to be $25 or something for materials, go get them. The contractors should just go get them, especially since they know what's generally best to be put in. They have the better idea of the quality to be replaced.
Yeah, one of the things that I also want to make people aware about is this phenomenon that I've been discovering. Now, we've always talked about the fact that your property managers are stealing from you. Now, this is a little bit of an over-embellishment for YouTube, because how are they stealing from you? Well, when they charge you 10% of the rent, you think, oh, it's only 10%. It actually equates to about 50% of your profit. I challenge you, for those of you out there who are using property management, or maybe those who self-manage, what is your overall rent? Let's say it's $1,000. What portion of that rent is your profit? For most of us, it's probably around like 20%. It's probably something like $200. If your property manager is charging you 10% of the rent for their fee, that's 50% of your profit. So when we say things like your property managers are stealing from you, yes, it's a little bit of an embellishment. But I've discovered, and I need to come up with some creative term so that Bigger Pockets can inevitably steal it from me and then take credit. But here's the concept. Is your property manager a property management company, or are they a construction company masquerading as a property management company, so that anytime they need a little bit of work on their construction side, they can say, oh yeah, your tenants, we don't know what happened. We got to make these improvements to the building, and they can keep their crews and keep their teams working. So we got to call, like, what's the clever, a general property management contract? I got to come up with something clever so it can be stolen to highlight this problem. But Heider, tell them a little bit more about, they're sending us these work orders, all these things that need to be done. And we're looking at it like, does it really all need to be done? Like, talk about the brick in the back.
Oh yeah, the brick in the back. We've got bricks that just fell off of a wall and they're just kind of hanging out. Well, they're unsightly, but they are big, huge, heavy bricks, and they're kind of tough to move. But they're hanging out in the back, and they're not threatening anyone. They're not deterring from the building being rented. Yet they wanted to charge us, I don't know.
It was $900, I thought.
$900, oof, to move bricks.
Right.
Not a huge pile of bricks, but yeah, that's not worth it.
I could pay a day laborer $120 to stack them in a square, and now we got a fire pit in the backyard.
Right.
Like $900. But you see, here's the thing: they come out there and they look at you. Your property manager looks at you as more income for them,
as a steak.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they want a nice big piece of you to eat it. And so they're saying to themselves, if we can sell them these jobs, we're going to get charged our fee to manage the job. And sometimes they do manage jobs, which is good. Or they're going to say, hey, we got contract. They're sitting on their hands. We got no work. We need to sell something to one of our investors so we can keep our guys busy. So let's go say it costs $900 to move a pile of bricks. Like, I'm sorry, the pile of bricks that they're claiming, oh, this is a hazard. It's some cinder blocks. Like, yeah, could some child conceivably go back there, pick up a cinder block and throw it at his sibling? Sure. Those are stupid parents. And at the end of the day, we'll just stack those bricks in a neater manner, or throw them over the other side of the brick wall that butts up against the train tracks. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not spending all this money. And there's so many good idea projects that have to get done. Another one that really pissed me off, and we paid for it. So everybody knows the classic burnt auburn style of cabinets. It's like kind of that orangey, oakish look, whatever that a lot of cabinets in the 90s had. And so they send us this bid like, hey, we got to touch these units up. It'll help them rent a little bit better. It's like, all right, look. The group of owners decided we'll go ahead and take their recommendation. We'll update the units to their specifications, which included the window installation. Fine. They wanted to paint the cabinets. I'm like, I don't really think the cabinets need to be painted. I think it would rent just fine without it. They're not ugly. They're just not like color coordinated. All right, we'll paint the cabinet. So we spend whatever it was, $1,200 to touch up the painting and whatever, and paint the cabinets. And has it helped the property rent any faster?
Nope. We are still vacant.
Yeah, still vacant. we handed this property over to them in May of 2025. So it's always tough to rent stuff out in the wintertime in Gary. It's very cold. No one wants to move Christmas or Thanksgiving. And so we give them the property in May, and I'm thinking they got all summer. This should be knockout. We should be able to get all 3 units rented. Even if we just get 2 rented, that's fine. I'll still be happy if we're, 4 out of 5 rented. We own it cash, so what do we care? Nope. Not one single unit is rented. Tell them what this property management's process is for showing units, Heider. You guys are going to laugh at this.
Let the ambitious tenant go ahead and unlock the lockbox themselves, let themselves in, and show themselves around. Yeah, that's not working. They have to be so ambitious to do all that. People want to have their hands held. That's just the point of it, and they're not holding hands.
Look, at the end of the day, we're not just a housing provider; we're a service provider. And if somebody says, "I'm interested in your unit, I'd like to come see it," I can understand how, isn't it convenient that we just have a lockbox over there that will text you a code? The code's good for 5 minutes. You can get in and then show yourself the unit. Okay, there's some convenience there. I get it. In a market like Gary, where we could have squatters take over, where that's like a very prevalent thing, do we want to just give unfettered access to our units with nobody there to call the cops and say, hey, they're not leaving, they're showing? No. This is the easiest thing in the world to sit here and say, this could easily be abused and cause major problems for an investor. So none of us are keen on this. And what frustrated me was we didn't know about this before we signed on with this property manager. We transferred from the first to the second, and we did not know about this. So oversight on my part by not asking the right questions. It was one of those things where you don't know what you don't know. I'd never heard of this process before. It didn't even occur to me, hey, when you do your showings for a listed unit and someone says they'd like to come view it, do you make sure someone from your office is there to walk them through? Like I didn't know I had to specify that was a thing. Like, of course that's why massive apartment complexes have on-site leasing agents at the building so they can walk people through. You don't just let someone go let themselves into your building. So anyways, oversight on my part, live and learn, I suppose. But talk a little bit more about integrity in business in general, right? Like talk to us about the frustrations that you just see and you deal with in this industry and how important it is to find good people.
Oh man, it's so incredibly important to find good people. A lot of people don't know what they're doing in construction, so they have to outsource that knowledge to someone else. And if that someone else doesn't have the integrity to give them the exact knowledge that's really appropriate for that job, how are these people going to know until they find out the hard way by maybe windows leaking? I just happened to stick my head out the window and look and see it, and there's no caulking. I didn't think I would see that, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna sneak out and peek. Mm-hmm. These are second-story windows, and I can't see a homeowner doing that, and especially an out-of-state homeowner or investor. Right, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, and this is what is frustrating, because as a long-distance real estate investor, you are relying so heavily on your property managers, your boots on the ground, to oversee this type of work to make sure that it's done properly. And if they don't do it, you're not going to know until you're replacing something way sooner than you should have because it wasn't installed in the manufacturer specifications. We wouldn't even have known that, except that when we showed up and we noticed that some of these brand new windows we just paid for were missing screens.
Yeah.
And so Heider was like, oh, well, I guess I'll poke my head out and look at the window from the exterior since there's no screen in the way. And he did that and he went, oh, there's also no caulking in the way, which is a major problem because it allows airflow in between the exterior and the interior, which of course makes the heating bills go up. And it's not going to last as long because now water can get in there, which is the number one enemy of a house. Water. Why is it telling me to turn right here? I am dumb. So anyways, yeah. And to his point, like it's finding people with integrity is so important, but that's the trick. It's like, how do I actually find somebody who's going to care about this as much as me, who's going to do as good a job as I am? And the reality is you really never are.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to care about your money as much as you are. And my recommendation in the past has always been, well, go to your network of investors.
Yeah, word of mouth.
See who's getting recommended. But what I'm telling a lot of people now is, as much as I hate because A, it causes me more time, and B, no one wants to feel like they're micromanaging. As much as I hate to tell you guys, micromanage and have strict, strong controls in place to supervise work that's going on, that's what you have to do, because too many people, even the good ones, will start to let things slide because they think nobody's checking. If people aren't going to do what's expected, they're going to do what's inspected. And so it's up to you to put those controls in place to make sure that you don't have to hire the out-of-state California guy that you're close friends with and you know won't screw you over, to go out there and slum it in a 5-plex on some air mattresses for a week or two to catch up on your problems. You were having fun, though.
Absolutely. I love it. The journey is fun. Makes good stories.
Well, guys, I appreciate you as always for watching. For those of you guys who haven't seen Heider in too many videos, this is another chance for you to see his gorgeous face. We're going to go into a Walmart and get another sleeping bag so I'm not as cold tonight as I was last night. Appreciate you guys as always for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Vest accordingly.